Okay.
Got it.
Welcome, CJ Watson, to our podcast. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
We are good. Glad to be here with you today. So we'd love to hear about your story. I mean, you spent 10 years in the NBA and over a dozen years in your playing career in basketball. Can you walk us through that, from your college days to basketball and then to what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I grew up here in Las Vegas, kind of middle class people with two parents who moved here from Nashville, Tennessee. Went to a predominantly high prolific sports school in Bishop Gorman. Played there for 4 years, won a couple state championships, couple state players of the year. Got recruited to go to Tennessee. Played there for 4 years. Got my degree in psychology. But when it came time to get drafted, I didn't get drafted, so I had to, kind of take a different route to the NBA. So I went overseas for a year to really get better at my game and work on things that the GMs and the scouts said I needed to work on. So I went to Italy for a year and came back, came to the D League, and then played there for a month, and then got my call up for the NBA, and then I played there for 10 years.
Yeah, that's a amazing story. And we were just talking about the Nuggets and Jokic earlier, and how low draft picks and folks who aren't drafted, the Miami Heat being another example, really find their way into the league, right?
Yeah,
And that's what we're doing here with sports tech, right? Finding ways to allow for these teams to find these type of talent. So tell us, we know that you've made quite a bit of investment in the sports tech space, so we'd love to hear a little bit about that.
yeah. So I recently how I got into like venture capital and investing. When I was playing, I was a ambassador for a company. I won't name the name, but they signed me on as an ambassador. They gave me equity instead of money because they couldn't pay me, and that's kind of how I got my first startup in investing in equity, and took that equity and sold it because I saw the company wasn't getting any bigger, and actually cashed out and did probably pretty well, the more the cash than they probably would have offered me. So that's how I got started. I did After that, I just kept reading books, went on a couple of internships, and just after I got retired, started investing. And my first company was actually Zen Water. So that was my first company I invested in, and did a couple after that: Instacart, Turo. Um, uh, it's like 30 or 35 investments I did so far since 2020, and I'm just trying to learn more, meet different people, and just like I said, read books and stuff like that to keep me updated on different vectors and sectors that I like, which is sports and tech, and that's kind of how I kind of see my investing route so far.
That's great. I mean, 35 is it's a pretty good number. So
Yeah.
in terms of how you got started, you mentioned sort of when during your playing career you saw some opportunities. Now, after you retired, did you say you read some books, but what else did you do to really kind of familiar yourself with this investment side?
Really, I just met a guy named Rashawn Williams. He's pretty much been my mentor in the investing game. He's taught me a lot of the ins and outs, how to do due diligence, how to, kind of sector and bet deals. And obviously, as an athlete, you get a lot of deals, I feel like, sent to you all the time. At least I do. So you know which ones are good or which ones are bad. So I kind of go to him for advice, and I've pretty much just leaned on him and another guy that I met through actually a podcast like this. He's at Tribe Capital, a big VC out of San Fran. So those two guys have really been leaning on and going to for advice and go to for for any recommendations and stuff like that.
No, that's great. And do you have any investments that you're excited about at the moment? Maybe ones you made recently, or ones that have been doing incredibly well?
I love Instacart. I'm a big fan of that. Like I said, I love Zen Water. I was messing with Matilda earlier. I like Zen Water a lot. But also just recently, a couple weeks ago, invested in a pickleball team in Texas. So I'm really excited about that. Just got introduced to pickleball maybe a couple weeks ago playing, and after I played, the opportunity came to me to invest, and I was like, I got to jump on this for it being like one of the biggest growing sports in the last couple of years. I just thought, anyone can play it from young to old, and like I said, I've been twice and I love it already. I'm dying to get back.
You gonna turn pro there? You gonna be a pro player?
I mean, you never know. I think I got to find something to do with my time. So I think the pro is definitely in the future. Maybe if I can keep my body healthy.
It's like the active way of golf. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think it would be so fun at all, like I said, but it's definitely fun. And just when I start playing, and then now just like looking at it from afar and watching videos on it. Now I learn more about the rules and all that kind of stuff. Now I want to get back out there, and see what I learned.
And from an investment perspective on that, is the league launching, domestically soon?
I think it's already launched domestically. It's actually in Texas. They got I think it's like 8 or 9 teams so far. So they're trying to grow and find sponsors and stuff like that. So I think it's like I said, I think it's a good investment, and hopefully it won't be anything soon. Probably future down the line, it'll be something big. Hopefully.
Great. One other area that we know you're very passionate about is philanthropy. So, can you tell us about the foundation that you have and how that got started?
Yeah, so me and my brother, we were younger as kids. My parents are, I feel like the bigger philanthropists in this, whole conversation. They're the ones that got me started. They always took me and my brother to nursing homes and churches, and we go feed the homeless and stuff like that. So that's kind of how the philanthropy came apart. I just want to see people be successful, and me coming from the inner city, just not having a lot of resources. I feel like always want to give back to those kids who kind of grew up like me and look like me, to give them resources and give them kind of a joy and a feel that they can be successful. And why not do that through a foundation? And that's kind of how it started, and it just took off. Ever since I got to the NBA, this will be our 20th season, our 20th year. We're doing a free basketball camp. So we do a free basketball camp. We do a out of school program we do each second and fourth Saturday. We also do a Black History essay contest we do during the Black History Month. So it's 3 or 4 programs we do each year, and like I said, just trying to give back to our community here in Las Vegas.
Well, that's amazing. So you've had it for over 20 years.
So actually, my mom started when my mom used to work for the city of Las Vegas. That was her job, which was
Right.
putting on like programs for kids in the inner city and handicapped kids. So, but ever since I got in the NBA since 2009, and we've been having it. But my mom has been having it for ever since I was in middle school. I've been working the camp, so I feel like it's a part of my lifestyle.
Yeah, when I spent time at the league, yeah, I was always it was always an eye-opening experience to see what
Yeah.
a big platform it could be
Mhm.
for charity, for philanthropy, and so it's amazing to see individuals like yourself who are really putting that sort of on the forefront of things and moving that along. Do you think that by being in the NBA, like how much did it help the foundation to really amplify the message it was trying to deliver?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, being in the NBA is one of the biggest businesses in the world. I feel like, and what platform they have. So, obviously, being in the NBA is going to help you tap into different resources and help you meet different people. So, always, even working with the NBPA with my foundation, they do a great job of supporting us and giving us, in kind donations and stuff like that. So, it's always great to work with people like that and companies like that.
Yeah, yeah, no, the MBPA certainly is helpful. I mean, how much guidance have they provided you along the way,
Uh,
throughout your career, and then now like that you're retired?
Definitely a lot. Even throughout my career, my parents run the foundation with a board of people. So they would always go to seminars in the NBAPA, and then they definitely give feedback on how we can make the foundation better and how we can grow it, and just anything we can do to listen to them and get feedback from them. I think that's a big thing.
And then with the foundation, now that you have a little more time, now that you're no longer playing, do you want to continue to explore growing that, and in what way do you think you could grow that in the next 5, 10 years?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just getting more sponsors, I think, and more donors, and just like I said, just getting the word out about our programs that we do have. We have like maybe 20 or 30 kids in the out of school program, and then in the essay contest we have 6 winners, but those 6 winners every year it changes, so it fluctuates. So I think just getting the word out more into a bigger scale will be the biggest thing in the next 5 or 10 years. I feel like.
Yeah, and is there a plan to expand that, sort of beyond just the region, beyond Vegas or?
I think for now, I think we're just stick with Vegas. I know expanding is a big ordeal, and I think with the people that we have, working with the foundation and volunteering, I think we have enough just to tap into the Las Vegas market, because Las Vegas is growing, every month by month with new teams coming, all new people coming. The city is just growing so much. I think if we can just really tap into Vegas, I think that's kind of going to be our our little niche.
Oh, fantastic. So shifting gears a little bit, besides investment and philanthropy. I know you have a third passion, and I see it on LinkedIn quite a lot. Uh, it's children's books, right?
Yeah.
You write these amazing children's books, and I know they're on Amazon and everywhere. And you know, our listeners should definitely go and pick up a few if you have kids. I certainly do. Tell us about that. Like, how did you get into that? I mean, that's certainly a little bit different than any of
Yeah.
the that we've had so far.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's something that I never thought about being a children's author. I was just sitting on the couch one day, retired, and I said, "How can I continue to tell my story, but also inspire kids?" And that's kind of how the idea came about. And I reached out to one of my former old coaches, and he was an author, so I had asked him, like, what to do and what route should I go? Is it attainable? Do you think I can do it? He said, "Yeah, you can do whatever you want to." So I said, "Why not?" So I tried it. And once I started doing something, I want to finish it and see it through. And that's how the first book came about. It took about maybe 6 months, I think. Then after that, I said I have more stories to tell. So I did the second one and the third one within like maybe like a year. And I just recently released my fourth one, like probably like 4 or 5 weeks ago. So definitely excited about it. I just love telling stories and inspiring young kids. And I think that's the best thing I can do, to reach out to the next generation and give them inspiration.
Do you draw your own paintings?
No, 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 no. I definitely can't draw. I'm just the storyteller and the book writer, but definitely had a great illustrator. I found him on Instagram. So shout out to Cam Wilson. He's done a great job with every one of the books. He's definitely seen the vision through. And like I said, ever since he sent me back the first draft, I was like, yeah, you're hooked. I'll sign you up.
Do you have children? Do you read the books to them or?
Yeah, I have 3 kids. So my oldest one is in high school, so that's kind of probably out of her realm. But she reads it to my youngest ones. And when I first wrote the first one, I went to them first and tried to get their validation, and they liked it. So I felt like kids are very honest. So if they don't like something, they'll tell you. So they liked the book and they read it for like a week straight. So I was like, hey, I might be onto something right here.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And then, so how long has it been since you've written the first one?
The first one was in November of 2019.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's been a few years, and
yeah,
I bet
yeah.
it was quite the journey. I mean, did you have any pitfalls along the way? You know, in the publication world, seeing how that's a whole different world than what you've been in.
Yeah, just trying to learn the author world and the book world. I feel like, like I said, it's a whole new world. So I was definitely trying to be a student and trying to learn from other people, other authors. And like I said, I think the pitfalls is just you hear about writer's block all the time, and it's really a real thing. So kind of get stuck on certain ideas. At first, we didn't. First, I wanted to make like a chapter book, but as I went along, I thought the stories were kind of childish and it'd be good to relate to smaller kids. So I went to the children's book theme. So I just tried to stay there, and I think I kind of not perfected it, but just kind of find my lane and be able to tap into different people.
And what's been the feedback, whether it's online or your teammates or
Mm.
on the books?
People love the books. Like I said, I hopefully they're being honest and genuine with me. But I've gotten a lot of responses on Amazon. Like I said, a lot of reviews, and like I said, the biggest thing is when I go to the kids and read books to the kids' schools, they smile and they want to read the next one and the next one. But I say I always tell them I only brought one book with me, so I can read this one. So, but like I said, they enjoy the books, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. Is just the kids enjoy it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. We all have children of our own, and I think it's really the one thing that allows the parents to connect, but
Yeah,
also to teach, right?
yeah,
The
yeah, for sure.
kids on an everyday basis, right? That's kind of
Yeah,
the only thing that we can offer to our kids, I think.
yeah.
Well, that's great, and we really look forward to hearing a little bit about the books in a little bit. But first, we're going to do a lightning round. Matilda, do
Okay.
you want to take that from here?
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite parts of the podcast, especially with Jay. You are so versatile and there's so many dimensions to you. So I think the fire round will be great for our listeners to sort of get another slice and cut of you.
All right.
I'm going to say a statement or ask a question, and I want you to just immediately give me what is top of mind for you.
Okay.
Ready?
I got it.
Top 2 mentors.
Top 2 mentors. My grandma, Rashawn Williams.
Why your grandma?
My grandma was a big reason schools desegregated and the civil rights movement. So she was one of the first 5 or 6 parents that took my aunt to all white school. So they were like 6 Black kids. So like I said, she's big in my family and in her neighborhood in Nashville. And even throughout those, taking her child to that school and desegregating that school, she got a lot of death threats, bombings to her family and all that kind of stuff. But she never wavered, and just stuck with it, and thought that her child deserved the same education as any other kid, no matter race.
Yep. Amen. I hope you have those stories captured in a children's book format.
That one I hope is the next one, maybe.
I already see the genre, and like there's so many valuable lessons right there, right? So history, value, everything.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one. You are an author. What is your favorite book?
My favorite book, I mean, I would say the Bible, but also like if I have to pick like a little fantasy one, I love the Chronicles of Narnia. I don't know if you read those or not.
Yes, I love it. I love
yeah,
it. I love all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I think sometimes we're missing a bit of that imaginative layer in today's world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
we can bring that to our children and keep them young. That's how you're going to get innovation. That's how you're going to get ideas. Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. What was the best piece of advice you got as you were heading towards retirement from your basketball career?
I would say like your network is your net worth. The people you know, the people you hang around, daily, weekly, monthly, is the way you're going to benefit in life, the way you're going to, succeed in life, either succeed or fail, I feel like.
Yeah, so true. So true. I'm going to go off script and ask you, who are the three people that you interact the most with on a daily basis?
Besides my kids and my family, my wife, I don't know. I would say I would say like a former teammate. I talk to him like maybe weekly or monthly. Baron Davis. One of my daughter's coaches. He's an investor also, so we talk about investment stuff like that. And then I would just say my family really. So that's kind of the three people.
Yeah, it's good because those are the most valuable things in your life.
Yeah,
most time.
yeah.
Last one here. Where do you go for inspiration?
Where do I go for inspiration? In the shower.
Do you sing as well?
I sing, I meditate, I think about ideas in the shower, and I have a steam shower too, so I'm in there for like 30 minutes. So get a little sauna and a little shower at the same time. So I do a lot of, like I said, a lot of thinking, praying, everything at once.
Oh my goodness. I feel like you need to have like a whiteboard in there too.
I know, right?
Notes while you're thinking.
All right.
Amazing. I knew it. I love fire rounds. You always find this other side of people and get to know you better. And sometimes you land on someone where they're like, I'm inspired by the shower moment or something.
Right.
Thank you for that. You're so special in so many ways. And we love that you are a author of children's books and we want to be able to hear some of it. And so we thought it'd be great if you could read a passage from a book of your choice.
Yeah, for sure.
And share it with our listeners.
Yeah. So I'll do the first book since it's like, I tell kids all the time, it's my favorite because it's my first baby or whatever. So it's called CJ's Big Dream, a story by CJ Watson, illustrated by Cameron Wilson. And most kids when I first started wrote the book, I had a dedication page, and all my dedications I wrote myself. So it says, the book is dedicated to a little boy or little girl reading this book. May you find inspiration in this story to achieve your dream, to achieve your goals. Cue in the Rocky theme song music.
Nice.
The sun beams in through the blinds as CJ awakens. Today's the big day, he says, as he climbs out of his bed. He glances over at his trophies that sit on his dresser and basketball posters on the wall and boasts, today I will get closer to my dreams. And these are my favorite players, Jordan, Magic, and Kobe. And this is like a picture of my room when I was kind of in elementary school. I had a lot of trophies on my dresser and stuff like that. So everything in the book is a true story also. So all my books are true stories.
Love it.
After brushing his teeth, CJ gets dressed for school, prepared for his day. He takes one last look in the mirror before grabbing his lucky socks off the floor. These will help me win today's big game for sure. His socks are worn and dingy with discoloration for being worn so many times. That does not matter to CJ, however, because each time he wears these socks, he wins the big game. These lucky socks are actually lucky socks that I actually wore. If I had a good game, I never washed them. I would just keep them, and that's why they're discolored and dingy and stinky and stuff like that. Ready for the game? CJ's mother asked. CJ beams with joy at his mama as she sits his breakfast down on the table in front of him. Smell of mama's blueberry pancakes, bacon, and eggs makes CJ very excited. Ew, you have on these stinky socks, his younger brother whines. These are my lucky socks, and they'll help me win today's big game, CJ replies before taking a bite of his pancakes. And I had a younger brother also, and he always looked up to me, but we always fought a lot. So, like I said, there's precious like memories you look back at over time that at the time you don't really, think they're special, but as you get older, they're very special. So those are the first 3 pages. And if you like it, go and get the book and purchase it and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I might just have to do that. I think my son's going to be very inspired by the sticky socks, lucky socks. He's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
into that stuff. He's a baseball player, and
yeah.
I'm wondering if it should be stinky socks, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Most moms don't like the stinky part, but I think as boys, you kind of get used to it and you just keep playing.
Well, it has that sentimental value. It's got, it represents something for you.
Yeah.
There's these books. I mean, I love that they're personal stories. I'm sure they're like it's like a little treasure of like for your family,
Yeah,
right?
it's just something like for me,
Yeah.
like I said, just to give back to my kids and just like say and to other kids, just to show that there is inspiration and also kids that, like I said, grew up in the inner city like I did, who probably would never think they could make it out. But there's definitely hope. There's definitely people who have made it out to be successful. And then I always tell kids, you don't have to be an athlete. You can be whatever you want. Teacher, lawyer, venture capitalist person, or whatever the case may be. So just go for it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, this first book is certainly autobiographical in nature. I mean, but I can totally see CJ the kid going
Yeah.
all kinds of different adventures, right?
Yeah.
Goes to space, I think will be
Yeah.
really
I
interesting
actually went to space camp when I was younger. Me and my parents sent me and my brother to space camp in California. So it's definitely that could be another story. So like I said, I got plenty of stories.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So one last question before I let you go, just on the basketball side, I saw you said the photos on the wall and you had Kobe up there.
Yeah.
So what was it like? I think we've seen this happen a lot. You see these photos where there's a young kid with a player, and then eventually they actually get to play with them, right? So
Yeah.
what was it like seeing Kobe on the wall and then watching him on TV, and then eventually being in the league and playing against him and talking to him?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like I said, it's kind of surreal because like guys and other coaches in high school would kind of compare me to Kobe, and like when I heard it, I was like, I'm nowhere close to Kobe. But just getting that recognition and then getting a chance to play against people like him, and like I said, Baron Davis was one of my favorite players. Getting to watch him in college and play against him or watch him play in the NBA, and then get to actually be his teammate. And like I said, to today, be able to call him on the phone and go see him, and our kids hang out and our families talk and stuff like that. So it's like kind of surreal just to see that things like that can really happen in life.
That's a topic for another book, I feel.
Right, yeah.
Well,
Just
great,
keep on
Steve.
flowing.
Thanks so much. And by the way, that fire round was really good. We love those answers. Thank you so much for being on the podcast with us, and look forward to reading more of your books, and hopefully we can talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm honored to be on your podcast. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.